Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Zionsville as we prepare for our first semifinal in the 1A class. We're featuring the Knights of Castle. They come into this one at 10-4 on the season. Brownsburg entering today's contest at 14-3. Indiana High School Lacrosse being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local hometown John Deere dealer since 1955. 5 Central Indiana locations. Reynolds meets all your equipment, parts, and service needs. Boilermaker Local 374, representing skilled workers across Indiana. Discover the Boilermaker advantage with Local 374. Burtner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. Wheeler Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893, thanks to generous, caring individuals like you. Morales Group Staffing, building better futures one story at a time. Let us help you find your next opportunity. LifeWise Academy. LifeWise Academy brings Bible education to public school students during school hours. Learn more at lifewise.org. LiUNA, the Build America Union, 500,000 strong, fighting for better wages, safer job sites, and greater opportunities. And the Indiana SRN sports page, sports coverage border to border, coast to coast, your source for high school, college, and pro sports coverage. Troy Nargowski, Laura Rogers with you here for our first semifinal in 1A. Two teams that are averaging in double figures in scoring. Coach, what do you see in our early matchup here in our first semifinal?
Yeah, going to be a bit of a toss-up here this afternoon. These two teams did not play each other in the regular season. Part of that due to distance. We've got Brownsburg here in the metro area, and then the Castle Knights coming out of Newburgh, just outside of Evansville. So haven't played each other this year. Both have cut their teeth on some Class 2A competition. So they both were dominant within the 1A structure. Castle lost to Evansville North, Culver, and Center Grove, both 2A teams, whereas Brownsburg's losses came to Brebeuf and Heritage Christian, another set of 2A teams. So apples to apples. Little hard to make a judgment call here, but Brownsburg's got great experience from their championship appearance last year and their loss to St. Joe, so they've got some experience at this level.
Yeah, and they'll be led by Madeline Gottlieb, 71 goals, 26 assists this year. She's not the only one, a three-headed attack they'll be counting on here this afternoon.
Yeah, this duo of Gottlieb and Addison, thank you. Stadium announcer Tim Button with the save, Addison Friedman. They've been playing since they were very young. Brownsburg's got a great youth program started by Jason Coles 15 years ago, so they've really have some experience on the turf.
And on the other side for Castle, they're led by Karina Iglesias, 60 goals this season. Only one of two players really that have some numbers. The other one is Addison Murphy. She has 34 goals on the season as well to go along with 16 assists. So offensively, Castle may be a little behind the 8 ball compared to what Brownsburg can do offensively in this game.
Yeah, Castle putting together a nice 10-4 season after losing 12 seniors in 2025. So their coach Sheila Bird mentioned that she's proud of how many of their first-year players have stepped up to fill those 12 vacancies.
Take a timeout. We'll come back, get this one underway here from Zionsville on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Time to check our keys for today's game. The Knights come in at 10-4 on the season. Coach, we talked a little bit about they make the long road trip, which is always a difficult thing to do. We understand they're down 3 starters, though, in today's game, which could be a key as well. What is their key to success to move on to the championship next week?
Yeah, always tough to keep a team together all the way here until late May with finals and graduation and all the activities that pull these ladies in tough directions. Yeah, Castle, again, those bus rides can be killer, so Castle's got to get out fresh and got out quick to be able to keep pace with this high-powered Brownsburg attack.
And on the other side, you mentioned Brownsburg again. They can really score with 14 goals per game. Give up less than 6. So the bottom line is if they can basically play their game today, they should be the favorites, right?
I would say Brownsburg is the favorite. Again, they have some experience from walking in these Final Four shoes last year. This team has been together for a while, and again, can't get any closer than Brownsburg and Zionsville just around the corner here, so they're set up for success.
Well, it'll be Blythe Palmer getting the start in goal today. Blythe giving up an average of 19.8 goals per game, so they outscore a lot of their opponents. On the other side, Daniel Fender will be starting, a save percentage at .510, so we'll see how both goalies will perform here today, and we're ready to get this one underway. Great to have you with us here on IndianaSRN.
Frieden and Iglesias on the draw. First draw deemed illegal by official Dan Yohe. And now we're up into play. Ball control by number 3, Grace Grabowski. Is going to carry it to our right here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Grabowski, by the way, 3rd on the team in scoring at 50 goals, but does have a team best along with Gottlieb, 26 assists. Heading into this one here today. Winner again will move on to the championship. A low pass and a turnover by the Bulldogs. Brownsburg 14-3 on the season. They're ranked number 12 in the state of Indiana. He went 5-0 in conference play this year.
Couple quick early fouls here by Brownsburg in the midfield. Slows down that Castle attack, but we're also getting a look at how the game will be called today. So far, pretty tight.
One thing, Ahmed, as you see right there for Castle, the speed that we may see in this one, a little bit different what we saw in 2A. So I would imagine if you can find a way to get an advantage in the speed department today, you may have an advantage in this game.
Absolutely. We always say you can't teach speed and you can't coach speed. So if we can get moving here early. shake off those bus rides. Well, that anticipation of waiting until 3 p.m. to play as well. We should have a fun little game.
Pass a little bit wide, and so it will go over to Brownsburg.
Hey, it looks like we had a goal circle violation. A player from Castle illegally entered the crease of Brownsburg, so the ball's going to go to goalie Blythe Palmer for the clear.
And we mentioned Gottlieb for Brownsburg, 71 goals this year. Frieden has 58, Grabowski 50. We'll be calling their names a lot here today. The second game we have in the 1A ranks will feature Fishers, and they will take on Crown Point. So we go up north we go from the south up to the north in the region area. Brownsburg in the critical scoring area. Opportunity here to maybe get up 1-0, but a turnover.
Yeah, neither team has really settled in here yet. Already had quite a bit of back and forth, and here comes possibly another one. Yep, Castle able to make the stop. Yeah, I think we've got a 7-hour drive between Castle, if we go from Castle to Crown Point. So we are spanning all corners of Indiana here today.
Going to see a lot of corn in that time, huh? So Brownsburg back on the attack once again. We've played 3 minutes. Had a high-scoring 2A game in the second game. Our first game was one of those that went right down to the wire. So we've seen a little bit of everything so far today in the first 2A semifinals. Want to remind you again, the championship games will be here on IndianaSRN coming up next Saturday. We still have boys competition coming up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And we'll be in Brownsburg for all of those games. That one is a post shot just off the top of the post.
Shot by Gottlieb, but Amelia Kingery with the second chance opportunity here.
Great move to the inside. Good save there by Fender. Brownsburg will hold on. Bulldogs trying to get on board first. Trying to make that move was Grabowski to the inside, got cut off. And now we'll set it back out front. This is the freshman Courtney. Might also be number 9, Carey instead of number 8, as again it'll be the move to the inside, the turn and the goal, and it looks like it will be number 8, which is Courtney. So Brownsburg gets on the board.
Nice little heads-up play there by Anya Courtney. Carefully drives in towards. Oh, we're going to see the dish first. Back to Courtney. Tiptoes through, protects the stick left side, pivots, come back strong side right for the finish.
So it comes at 7:35 of the opening period. Courtney scoring her 8th goal of the year.
Ball squirts out sideways. In girls lacrosse, the draw must clear the head of both of the players. Ball kind of squirted out sideways. Official signaling illegal draw by the Knights, and Brownsburg's on the attack.
Iglesias gave a long look at the official, looking for an explanation. So now the Bulldogs trying to get it to 2-0. Here's Grabowski. Makes a move to the inside, and another good save as Fender able to knock that one away and regains possession here for Castle.
Well, looks like the clock was taking a nap there for a second, so our official Caitlin Sears rightly calls the timeout to get that reset and running with Castle on the clear.
.720 remaining in this opening period of play. One thing that you never do to an official is extend that clock, right? as a basketball official, I never wanted that clock to stop if I can help it. What about you?
As an official myself, and primarily officiating the youth game where it's always running clock, I can't say that I'm mad.
Yeah.
Right? Because the older I get, the bigger that field seems.
Yeah, it does.
The quicker these kids get. So I won't deny that the ticking clock can be your friend. It's a coach's friend, too, if you're on the right side of the score.
That's
so
right.
A lot of moving parts in sports.
So Castle has not really had much of a possession so far here early in this one, so they will get an opportunity right here. In fact, I think they've only been in this area of the field twice here in this opening period of play.
Yeah, no shots yet for Castle, but here comes the first from number 11, Reese Wagner gets the first look in cage.
Blythe Palmer in goal for Brownsburg.
Looks like we've got a foul called possibly on Palmer, which is causing her to leave the crease, which is bad news for any goalkeeper. She's able to scamper back quickly as Castle maintains possession.
So Castle resets it out front. Nice move to the inside, plenty of contact and a whistle. Iglesias going down on the turf. And she might be a little shaken up. We had a really physical game in game number 2. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll call this one here in our first 1A contest. It looks like we might have our first free position opportunity. Heading toward the sidelines is Iglesias. And she may come out because of an injury. It looks like might be some blood on this one. And they're going to check her mouth because she may have taken one right to the chops.
Yeah, it looks like trainer Tiffany from Zionsville giving her some good care here. So hopefully she'll be back with us here quickly, as her replacement player will take this first free position of the game for Castle.
Low shot there by Kilgore. Kilgore's only played in a couple of games this year. But again, without 3 starters in their lineup, they may have to go to their bench and use some players that don't have the same type of experience we have seen all year long for the Knights.
Grace Grabowski, the ball carrier, into the critical scoring area, finds a streaking Addison Frieden, whose shot goes wide. Frieden able to get her own change and a reset for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Frieden, by the way, had a really good look that time. Low shot and the score by Gottlieb. So 2-0. Bulldogs with the lead. And so far, one of the 3 leading scorers, as Gottlieb now has 72 on the year.
Nice little curl there around the top side of the 8-meter to get those hands free for the right-handed finish.
So good start here for the Bulldogs.
Back at the draw, Addison Murphy for the Knights, and number 24, Addison Frieden for the Bulldogs.
Well, by the way, and I have to check here if Iglesias, if she has not come back in. If you lose Iglesias scoring-wise, boy, that's really going to hurt Castle.
Yeah, Coach Sheila Bird mentioned her as the power player for the Knights, so anytime you lose someone that talented this early in the game, it's a tough hill to climb.
And I notice she is still on the sidelines being checked out. I think she's going to be back, but they're making sure that she's going to be okay. One thing about it, not having her in the lineup offensively, yes, but also just the leadership aspect of a junior in Iglesias, and you don't want to see yourself get down too far here early, and that's been something that you've alluded to early in the couple of our games today have been that way, though the scoring has been pretty equal each way as we got a whistle But no lead is very safe for sure.
Takeaway there by senior midi Addison Murphy for Castle. Little dust up, but she's back on her feet.
I want to remind you that today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana Girls Lacrosse Association. Any use, reproduction, or distribution of audio or video without the express written permission of those two entities is strictly prohibited. So Castle, back the other way we go. Ball is loose, and a foul call against Brownsburg.
Looks like we had a horizontal cross there against the Bulldogs, so the Castle Knights are going to have their second free position of the afternoon. Oh, not quite, just outside of the critical scoring area. No free position, but they do maintain possession.
And they turn it over. So another costly turnover by Castle, and the Bulldogs trying to head the other way.
Like number 0, Izzy Latimer, getting that takeaway. But just as quick, an out-of-bounds ball by Emery Sandlin, and the Knights are headed the other way.
Contact here on the sideline. That's going to bring out a yellow. That's going to put Grabowski in the penalty box. So a power play opportunity here for Castle.
Grabowski taking his seat for the next 2 minutes, so almost the rest of this first quarter. So let's see if Castle can take this to their advantage once we get reset here on the near end line.
Trying to find Iglesias if she has come back into the lineup for Castle, and she has. I don't see her yet. Looking opposite side as you see Wagner in control here for the Knights. Makes a nice move to the inside, and the shot and the score.
I think that was Iglesias herself.
Yep,
all right, number 10, leading scorer. Karina Iglesias returns with a vengeance here to put Castle on the board for the first time with 2:22 left to play in the first quarter.
So for Iglesias, her 61st goal of the season.
Little shimmy on the top side, takes her defender to the ground, comes back to the left for the little dump. Be interested to see if she goes to that left hand again.
That's a big lift right there for Castle, getting her back in the lineup. Makes it a 2-1 contest here in the first.
Again, the ball squirted out kind of laterally again, so there's something fishy with this draw to already have had 2 redraws in the first quarter. So I think official Caitlin Sears here is going to keep a really close eye on this next one to see if she can determine what seems to be happening. That draw is good and up and into the stick of Addison Murphy for Castle.
So many times we have seen today the way that the momentum has changed. Great pass to the inside and the score. And Castle, 2 in a row. Bartleman with the goal. That will be for Bartleman, number 17 on the year. And how about Castle coming back strong with 2 straight?
No signs of bus fatigue just yet, as they have knotted up with Brownsburg. Again, 2 minutes to play and another minute 30 or so on that penalty for the Bulldogs. So if I'm Castle, I'm going to want to go here while I have my woman up opportunity.
By the way, that was scored 16 seconds after Iglesias scored at 2:22.
Early bobble here, but eventually a draw control by Quinn Reuter, freshman for the Bulldogs. Draw still leaning in favor of the purple and white. An early timeout.
So we got a timeout right there. 1:42 remaining, opening period. We're tied at 2. big play here for Mount Vernon. Ertl looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off, and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board. Indiana Girls Lacrosse brought to you by Morales Group Staffing. Their business to create a better future for you, your family, and the community we share. Whether you're looking for the right career or the perfect candidate, they are here to help. Give them a call, 317-472-7600. Surprised by an early timeout right there?
A little bit, yeah. Unfortunately, in women's lacrosse, you only get 2. It has gotten better over the years. We used to play halves and not quarters, so you really never had a chance to talk to your team or stop the clock. So now we have the quarters and still the 2 timeouts, so maybe a little much there for them. But again, they're still man down, so maybe they needed to have a quick talk on what is needed to keep Castle out of the net here.
All right, so after the timeout, back-to-back goals by Iglesias and Bartleman there for Castle. Again, only 16 seconds apart. They've tied this one. See if Brownsburg can come back right here. Minute 42 remaining here in the first quarter.
Roughly a minute left on the card of Frieden, so it'll be interesting to see if Brownsburg is content to hold here or if they're going to strike. I would assume they would try to strike since they had that timeout to discuss things. So Gottlieb and Frieden here at the top of the key.
Kingery in possession now for the Bulldogs. And there's Frieden.
Up in the wheelhouse there of Frieden. She'll maintain possession.
Of course, that was Addison Murphy there for Castle. Well, it appears right now they are content at this stage. Almost losing possession there for Brownsburg, as Kingery able to regain, and they'll bring it back out front again to Frieden.
Table official Clea Anders releases the yellow card, and we are back to 7-on-7 lacrosse.
So even strength with now under 30. Bulldogs again scored the first 2, but it's been a while.
If I'm Brownsburg, it's time to go. You do not retain possession through the quarter, but rather go back to a 50-50 draw, so now is the time to strike.
Well, that one bouncing right in front of Fender. And that's going to do it for the opening period of play. We head to period number 2. We're tied at 2 apiece.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Your business depends on quality, efficiency, and reliability. At Reynolds Farm Equipment, we help you stay ahead with John Deere commercial mowers built for performance. Whether you're maintaining parks, businesses, or neighborhood lawns, you need equipment that works as hard as you do. With expert service, flexible financing, and the best lineup of mowers in the industry, Reynolds keeps your operation running strong. Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local John Deere dealer since 1955.
Back here in Zionsville, great to have you with us for the first 1A semifinal. Want to remind you today's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, the leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors in Indiana. Nothing runs like a Deere. 317-849-0810. Courtney got the scoring started with a goal at 7:35 in the first. Brownsburg led it 1-0. Gottlieb got her 71st goal of the season at the 4:50 mark in that opening quarter. Made it 2-0 Brownsburg, but then they went in a scoring drought the rest of the way. Iglesias, after an injury, came back and scored for Castle at 2:22 in the first, her 61st goal, and then Bartleman tied it up at 2:06, 17th goal of the season. Good look there at Castle as they were preparing for period number 2. Mentioned our second game, we'll have Crown Point and Fishers. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game in the championship next Saturday here at Zionsville.
Little surprised by the relatively slow start here of Brownsburg. I know they're used to scoring and scoring often, so let's see if they can find their groove here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they average 14 goals per game. Their shot percentage at .659. They've had 361 shots on goal this season. Key will be again, what can they do here in the draw? It'll be Frieden for Brownsburg. Get a really good look at the two players right there. It's always fun to watch this, how, like you said, they can't move except their head, and then the ball has to clear in the air as the draw control won by Brownsburg. I'm not sure I could do that on a consistent basis. I'd always feel like, where can I get an edge, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like the start in track and field, right? They do all that work and then one false start. So definitely muscle memory and muscle control needed to take the draw.
You know, some of the players have been playing this game since they were very, very young. What is the, from your standpoint as a coach and such, how early do you want them to start playing this game?
Birth.
Birth, okay.
Correct answer is birth.
All right.
We've got a lot of great lacrosse babies now. I like to say I'm a lacrosse grandma because I've had players who now have little ones, you know, that are starting to play the game. So it's never too early, especially work on those defensive foot skills, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. You got that right.
More reasonably, in our area, the kids start at U6. So we've got like kindergarten sticks, kindy sticks, where they'll play still in mixed gender, boys and girls together with a much smaller stick and a softer ball. But yeah, it's growing great here in Central Indiana.
Well, getting everybody to understand the game is part of it too. It isn't just physical; it's a lot mental. So you got to help them understand how to play the game the right way.
Yeah, high coordination game, lacrosse. Got to have those hands and feet working at the same time. So they're pretty cute when they're little. Then we get a little awkward, and then we get some really fun high-level lacrosse eventually.
Well, Castle has now taken the lead thanks to a goal by number 9, Delacoma. Margot Delacoma, just a freshman. And according to my stat sheet, that is just her 4th goal of the year. 3 straight now by the Knights.
Coach Bird did mention how they've had many first-year players step up and contribute in major ways after the big senior class of 2025. So they're going to need to lean on those newbies this afternoon.
So Delacoma gives Castle a 3-2 lead. Boy, that was right between the wickets.
Brownsburg still dominating on the draws. A couple false starts on those draws by Castle, and now Brownsburg winning unofficially their 5th of the first half. Let's see if they can get the attack going.
Yeah, their offense got off to a great start, but since then they have not done a whole lot.
Haven't scored since 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in that first quarter.
We haven't seen much of Grabowski and Frieden. Another turnover.
Gottlieb had a nose for the goal, but nowhere to go. Stick up and out. Castle tiptoeing on that far sideline border to bring it successfully into their attacking end.
What is amazing about some of the things we have seen today is just, as you said earlier, how quickly things can change. You think Brownsburg got off to a great start. Man, they could really get out and make this ugly early, but this game is just can be kind of humbling, can it?
3 in a row for Castle, and now Castle with the free position, their 3rd of the game already.
And a great jump. Ball tipped in the air right in front of the circle. It'll stay with Castle.
Good stick check and crash by Brownsburg on that free position, but the trash favors the Castle. They'll take a second look.
By the way, that was Delacoma once again in the mix. And right now, they seem to be very content as they go behind the cage, and a good save there by Palmer.
Palmer gets a piece of it, tipping it out of bounds on a shot in girls lacrosse. The closest to the ball when it crosses that out of bounds line wins possession. So Palmer able to keep it for the Bulldogs.
This is Frieden. Frieden looks to the inside. High pass and another turnover potentially here, but the pass a little bit off the mark. It'll stay with Brownsburg. Well, it will be Knights.
Brownsburg kind of their own worst enemy right now. After that quick start, we've had a few errant turnovers in these past 3 possessions. Haven't had a shot on goal.
Castle having a difficult time here. And now they'll advance it past midfield. Reese Wagner. Wagner looks to the inside, pass high once again, turnover by Castle.
Ill-advised pass there over through the face of the goal. Makes its way through, and then we had a held check on the far side, so we're going to have another free position for Castle.
It's number 4 already.
Hanging hash is not a shooter's favorite, so we'll look for a drive or a pass here.
That's exactly what they did. This is Bartleman. To the inside, the shot low, and a save again by Palmer off the attempt by number 11, Wagner.
Nice feed there from Bartleman to Wagner, but Palmer read it all the way and is now walking her way up the field. On the clear, you have 10 seconds to either clear or leave that goal circle. Once the goalie leaves that circle, she is fair game as a field player, so to speak. So that can be a tactic to buy yourself a little more time and control, especially if you have an experienced keeper who doesn't mind handling the ball.
Another turnover there by the Bulldogs. So after 4 goals combined in the opening period, Delacoma the only goal scored so far here in the second.
Field a little tilted in Castle's favor right now. Again, a 3rd or 4th unforced error by the Bulldogs.
Oh, look out.
A little too much mustard there from number 22, Amelia Kingery. Looks like everybody's all right and Castle's ready to move.
This will be Bartleman once again looking ahead. The high pass and the score. How about bringing that one back down was Iglesias. Not sure that pass was intended for her, but she was able to bring it in, and that'll be Castle's 4th goal of the game.
Second goal for Karina Iglesias, junior midi for these Castle Knights. Yes, was kind of the surprise catch, but a nice clean finish to put the Knights up by 2.
They have now scored 4 straight after falling down 2-0. For Iglesias, that'll be 62 on the year.
Good resilience here shown by the Knights. Again, taking advantage of Brownsburg on both the yellow card and a few unexpected errors in their attacking end. And a draw control for the Knights.
Well, they're quickly again looking to put another one on the board here in the opening period, or I should say opening half.
Knights slowing it down here a little bit. Taking a peek, looks like Brownsburg is in a traditional man-to-man. Not really pressing out, but rather content to kind of stay home on that 8-meter and protect that middle that matters the most.
And watching the Brownsburg players making sure they know where their teammate is and also where the goal is, and another one by Iglesias. Since that injury she had in the first quarter, she's played really well.
Yeah, bonk in the nose might have really awakened the day here for Iglesias, as she has a hat trick in this young game here in the second quarter. We got the feeder on the backside just out of frame. Iglesias cuts from the stack that Castle had for the clean finish.
And 63 goals now by Castle's Iglesias this year. Karina just a junior. By the way, she got the hat trick on that goal just a minute and 2 seconds after her last goal.
Second draw control in a row for the Knights. Brownsburg's got to find a way to not only stop these Knights, but then play their game on their attacking end.
Well, somehow the Bulldogs offensively have gone completely cold. High pass, ball loose. Castle keeps it. Yep, gonna go the other way, excuse me.
Ground ball by Grace Grabowski. Grace Grabowski ground ball. Say that 5 times fast.
Good luck.
As the Bulldogs are moving into the attacking area, ball back in the stick of Grabowski.
Now we're now down nearly 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Brownsburg pass behind the intended recipient. The ball comes loose, and now a 50-50 ball.
Looks like we've got either a covered cross or a held cross against the Castle Knights. So Brownsburg finally gets one in their favor. Grace Grabowski with the ball just outside of the 12.
Nice move, and that one bounced high, and good effort by Grabowski, but how about the keeper, Fender?
First shot from Brownsburg in almost 10 minutes, so I'm sure they're glad to have the ball back in that direction. Let's see if they can capitalize with just over 2 to play in this first half.
By the way, our second semifinal is set for 5:30 this evening. Stay tuned for that. We mentioned Crown Point Fishers. Great move to the inside there by Gottlieb. See this one right here.
Grabowski did a great job of stick protection, but chose to come over stick side on the shot. Let's see if Brownsburg can take advantage of the free position. It sails just wide. Gottlieb with the first free position of the day for the Bulldogs. Purple and white maintain possession.
Today's game brought to you by Beatty Insurance, a company which understands your industry and what's on the line for you. Give Lance a call at 812-522-5640.
Grabowski knocking on the door there with a crease roll. Castle's double team. Had a little too much power to it, so Grabowski will have the ball on the hanging hash. She might be able to score here if she pulls that cross nice and tight across the left side, protecting her stick. Come back strong side right. Let's see if she's got the speed.
Well, anticipating that whistle is a big part of it, but boy, that one went high and she knew it.
Castle goaltender doing a great job just getting little foul balls here and there, so to speak. So not totally clean saves, but nonetheless turning away the Bulldog shooters.
Under 40 in the first half.
Maddie Gottlieb trying to find a way and does successfully draw shooting space. Stopping the clock here with 30 seconds to go. Free position for the Bulldogs.
And it will be Gottlieb once again. Gottlieb goes low and scores. So the drought finally over for Brownsburg. Gottlieb now with 72 goals this season.
Here's what we're more used to seeing from Maddie Gottlieb. Good start off the whistle, bounce shot between the 5-hole of the Castle goalie to bring the Bulldogs back within 2. Just under 30 seconds left to play in this first half.
We have seen several times today where one team will score at the end of a quarter or at the end of a half, and we saw it again with Gottlieb and Brownsburg. So now the deficit for the Bulldogs down to 2. Eventually Castle coming away with the control. Iglesias looking left and scores. Took her about 14 seconds to get back down into position, and Gottlieb take that back. Iglesias scores right after Gottlieb put a point on the board there for Brownsburg.
Iglesias, her 3rd in a row and 4th overall today for the Knights. Ends a almost 4-minute drought and puts Castle up by 3 with 13 seconds left to play. I doubt we're going to see another goal in this half. This draw has been a little sloppy here on both teams. So even though 13 seconds is ample time to score, I think we've seen all the fireworks we need for this first half.
Iglesias with 3 in the quarter. Well, they're going to try.
Color me wrong. Nice clean draw by Iglesias. Castle's got 4 seconds, but looks like they're content to play for the half.
Well, there you have it. Game 1 of our semifinals in 1A. And right now, Karina Iglesias has led the way with 4 goals for Castle. They go into the locker room with a 6-3 lead.
Next Saturday, May 30th is going to
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Brian Chrisman joins me today. And Brian, talk a little bit about the winter and Wheeler Mission and how important it is for people to help Wheeler Mission, because winter means homeless and homeless means people in the cold. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, we really serve a lot of people year round, no matter what the weather is, right? And so we serve anywhere from 700 to 900 people who are experiencing homelessness every single night. But when winter hits, that can become life or death. So if you're stuck out in the cold, happens every year. IMPD will find people out in the cold and encourage them to come in. But if they don't catch them in time, I mean, again, life and death. And so it's vital that our doors are open. And so we do that. Our staff shows up every day to make sure our doors are open. We serve 1,000 meals a day plus every single day. That's a nice, warm, nutritious meal. Donors provide that. Donors provide our food. Coffee, something hot to drink, donors provide that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved at Wheeler to make sure we can get through winter, or to work at Wheeler. We need staff, and so we're always looking for staff to get us through the winter time. We spread ourselves thin during winter, making sure that anybody can find space, and so we have bed capacities. For sure, but we go beyond that every winter to make sure that the city has an option for people who are experiencing homelessness in the dead of winter.
Schools out there that are watching this program with our reach, maybe they want to do a sock drive, or they want to do a sweatshirt drive. They can contact our office at IndianaSRN, or they can contact you. Where's a contact, or who would be a contact that maybe we want to do a sock drive? I think that would be a great idea for SRN to start one of those sock drives. How would that, what does that look like?
Yeah, so if you go to wheelermission.org, we have our needs lists that are right there on our website. Those change sometimes in the winter, but there are some needs that are pretty much continual when it comes to hygiene items, when it comes to warm items to get us through the winter. So when you're talking about coats, especially bigger sizes for people that come through, we want to make sure a lot of people that come to our mission, they come with the clothes on their back, right? And so we need to make sure they have something to wear during their stay with us, and which could be for a few weeks, could be for a couple months. And so go to our website, wheelermission.org. You can donate directly there, whether it's a financial donation or you can look at our needs list. You can even find drop-off locations. You can drop it off at some of the barns that we have around the city, or come right down to Wheeler Mission, drop it off right there. But we need this community's support. So greatest thing about Indianapolis is it is a generous community.
Yes.
It is a community that steps up when there's a need. And there's 1,700 homeless individuals in our community. That number has risen 5% just over the last year. Wheeler Mission is the main place for those individuals to go, has been since 1893, over 130 years. And so support that ministry so that those doors can be open, making sure that every man, woman, and child that needs to come inside can come inside and not only get warm, but get nutritious meals, food, shelter, and care. And so beyond that, we take them through a whole journey of program to make sure that they come out our back door different people. But the first things first, right? Get them fed and get them warm and get them safe.
Since it's basketball season and we cover over 300 games a year on IndianaSRN, we challenge our basketball teams and our basketball programs to get involved. There are meals that need to be served. Tell our teams out there how they can help and serve meals.
Yeah, no better way to really open your eyes to the community's needs than to stand in front of people who are desperately in need and hand them a meal, hand them what they're asking for that day. So great group opportunity is to volunteer at Wheeler Mission. You can go to wheelervolunteer.org. You can sign up a group. It can take an hour and a half to come down and serve a lunch. You can get 12, 15 people involved in that, a dinner, come down either at our men's shelter or our women's shelter. It's a really cool experience for teams, not only to help in a way that you're making a difference, but to see the people that you're helping, right? To hand a meal to someone and smile and say hi to someone literally in their darkest moment, right? So
best assist they can ever make.
Oh yeah,
is to serve a meal.
That's a good point. It's a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk, exactly. For Indiana SRN, this is Keith Myers.
Welcome back to Zionsville. Want to remind you that IndianaSRN is proud to provide coverage of high school sports across Indiana, giving student-athletes the recognition they deserve. From exciting Friday night football games to championship moments, we are committed to showcasing the hard work and dedication of student-athletes across the state. Your support helps IndianaSRN bring more live games, better coverage, and additional opportunities for schools and student-athletes to be seen and heard. And every donation directly helps us continue our mission, promoting high school athletics throughout Indiana. So please consider supporting IndianaSRN by using the donate button on your website. Your contribution helps us put more games on the air and continue serving our schools, athletes, families, and communities. Even a donation as little as $25 will help IndianaSRN air games and provide great exposure for today's student athletes. For more information, you can contact us by emailing coach@indianasrn.org. That's coach@indianasrn.org. And thank you for supporting local high school sports and Indiana SRN. We're ready for the third quarter. Iglesias finishing it out with that goal with just 13.2 seconds remaining. And boy, they had a chance maybe to get one more. And now Castle 24 minutes away, but we got a long way to go here.
Yeah, Iglesias really taking the bull by the horn so far. 4 out of 6 goals for Castle. The junior having herself a day at just the right time.
Brownsburg able to win the draw. We were kind of wondering during the break a little bit about Brownsburg. Gottlieb, a couple of goals today, but their offense just does not seem to be in sync so far here in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, a bit uncharacteristic for Brownsburg, but looking back on their road to this Final Four, they defeated Franklin Township 19-5 and Roncalli 14-3. So really haven't been tested in the last couple weeks, so sometimes it's hard to get in that slump if you haven't really had the engines going.
Well, their first possession of the third. They'll look to the inside, and the high pass taken away, so a turnover by the Bulldogs. Castle wasting no time. Love to maybe get a goal right here. Defenders hustling back there for Brownsburg, and that'll go against the Bulldogs.
Burst of speed there for the Knights. Brownsburg able to get back, had a 1-on-4 there. Castle still managed to draw the foul. Free position for number 9, Margot Delacoma.
Had a goal earlier and gets another one. Delacoma, her second goal of the day. She only had 2 goals coming in, or I should say 3 goals coming in. She now has 2 today.
Delacoma choosing a great time to peak. Nice center hash location here. 3 or 4 quick steps and a bounce shot to the offside stick of Palmer.
Well, you're always looking for somebody to step up for you, and we got another timeout. 10:38 to go in the third. 7-3 Castle.
Timeout called on the field by the Castle Knights.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines?
Your kid's Friday night touchdown. Just Wit HD on Roku. IndianaSRN is bringing Central Indiana high school sports right to your living room in crystal clear quality. With over 350 live contests streaming each year, from football under the lights to basketball buzzer beaters, we're putting local athletes in the spotlight. Search IndianaSRN on your Roku device today and never miss a moment of hometown glory.
High school lacrosse brought to you by Dynamark Graphics Group. If you look to elevate your brand, make sure you choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. They've been serving the Indianapolis area for over 50 years. Dynamark builds strong relationships through exceptional service. For more information, contact Dynamark at 317-328-2555. A quick timeout there for Castle. I'm curious what they saw after the goal by Delacoma that would make them call that timeout that fast.
Yeah, I can't think of much that went wrong, honestly, in that first minute 24. They lost the draw, but then quickly gained the free position on the turnover and scored. So I don't know if there was an issue with a player or something that we're unaware of that necessitated that timeout. So early, cash in the chips early, one timeout remaining for both Brownsburg and Castle with quite a ways to go.
And believe it or not, what you're seeing right there is the sun, which we haven't seen a whole lot of lately with all the rain we've gotten around central Indiana and southern Indiana, and Castle probably knows about that as well, as the draw won by Brownsburg. But yeah, we are now getting some sunshine. Maybe we'll get some spring here in the next couple of weeks.
But as a Midwesterner, I know that this sun could disappear any moment.
Any moment.
So let's not change our game plan based on this beautiful burst that we are experiencing.
Yeah, not only will it disappear, it could disappear for weeks, or at least it feels that way. Brownsburg down by 4 here in the third, and they can't get anything going offensively again.
Gottlieb trying to force through that Castle defense, but another little quick upset here, and Brownsburg is able to get the ball back. Let's see if they can spread out and maybe stop jamming in that 8 so much, but another quick turnover by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, each team, 2 there by Brownsburg, 1 by Castle, and here come the Knights once again. Delacoma's played very well. Coming off the bench here today for Castle. Again, we mentioned they have 3 starters down.
Oh.
Even with that, they're still up by 4.
If they hadn't have told us, we might not have been able to tell, because they seem to be handling this usually powerful Brownsburg attack quite well.
And they'll slow the pace down here. Iglesias here on the near side along with Delacoma.
Ball squirts away from Castle, but she's able to track it down just before that in line.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Castle would love to make another trip here next Saturday or Friday, depending on if they do come up early. Get a chance to play on this field again.
Yeah, I think you've got at least 3.5 hours on the bus, and then I believe the central time zone comes into effect there as well. Yeah. So some logistics that I'm sure Castle would be happy to deal with if they had the chance to play for the 1A state title.
Well, right now, a long possession. You're hoping as an offense that you can get that defense. Of course, they got to work harder. You know where you're going. The defense generally doesn't. And maybe get a chance. They got to the inside, and another one on the board for Castle.
Looks like we had a goal by number 8, senior Addison Murphy, with an assist from, yet again, number 10, Karina Iglesias.
So Murphy, her first goal of the afternoon. Castle has now scored 3 straight. First 2 goals of the third.
Nice little give and go there by the Knights. Brownsburg looking a little stunned here, a little back on their heels. Yet to take a shot here in the second half.
By the way, Murphy, number 35 on the season. I was about ready to say a little bit about what Castle was doing there offensively. is making Brownsburg work, and that was a long possession. And generally playing defense is going to be harder than it is playing offense because, again, you really don't know all the time where the offense is going and try to wear them down a little bit.
Yeah, as a coach, sometimes you have to look at your offense and say, could you hold the ball for a hot second? Our defense has really been putting in the time, but right now I think Brownsburg needs to strike. Their defense would love a break, but they also have a little bit of a hole to dig out of right here.
Well, they can't hold on to the ball. They've had 3 turnovers here in the last 2 possessions, 2 and 1. And it looks like we may have a change here for Brownsburg. They're going to try to find a different combination here on offense. Castle turns it over at midfield. Maybe this will help Brownsburg a little bit as they go on the attack. This is Grabowski. Unable to shake the defender. Grabowski, high shot, knocked away by Fender. Danielle has had some good saves here in this one.
First shot of the half for Brownsburg. I think Fender may have taken that one off the dome, but seems to be unfazed, as most goalies are. Goalies are a rare breed, takes a lot to rattle them, and Fender standing tall today.
Fender on that left side, take another look at it. Doink. She didn't even feel that.
Fender in position, her head in a slightly better position. Grabowski's tiptoe around the crease resulted in an across-the-body foul and the first free position for Brownsburg. Grabowski unable to take advantage. And we're back to the top of the 12.
I'm sure over the years you have seen keepers take a shot somewhere in an area in the body that is exposed. Doesn't have a whole lot of padding, and I bet it doesn't feel too good, does it?
Whenever a goalie goes to the doctor, they need a note that says, I am a lacrosse goalie and am not in personal harm.
You're getting abused,
yeah,
right?
So luckily my most recent goalie's father was a pediatrician and could confirm that it's sports, not danger.
Exactly. So Brownsburg gets on the board. Gottlieb, I believe, got the goal.
Her third on the night for Maddie Gottlieb off the free position. Couple quick steps and a nice overhand chop to put Brownsburg on the board for the first time in this second half.
Question is, can they be a little more consistent? The rest of the way, their offense has been a little bit stagnant here this afternoon. We mentioned coming in averaging 14 per game, but they got a ways to go to get to there. And that key here today. Castle coming away with it.
Castle's first draw control of the second half. Back to the stick of the capable Iglesias. Talking about goaltending, we had a tradition, you could say, in practice. If you hit the goalie in practice, which is our goalie, not doing them any good, we didn't get mad. We just subtly said, I'll see you later. And they would get to, run it down and back to think about not hitting their own goalie during practice. She's on our team. You also can't score when you hit the goalie. So a moment of reflection for the shooters.
So you wanted to think about it on that down
Think
and back.
about it as you're taking a break.
That'll go against Brownsburg, so Castle will have a power play opportunity. There's number 7, Runyon, the senior.
Brownsburg's second of the game. She'll have 2 minutes. Again, more time for reflection, as we like to say. So let's see if it's a school teacher in me coming out every once in a while. Let's think about our choices here. It looks like Castle is going to choose to take advantage of this two-minute woman-up situation.
Still a 4-goal advantage here for the Knights. Dive to the inside, and a lot of contact there. Unable to hold on to it was Ahmed. So turnover there for Castle. Do you do a lot of that as your middle school, correct?
I am 7th grade, yes, sir.
Do you see a lot of reflecting going on there?
More so for me. Having to remember I am the adult in the room. Yes, do not engage.
Don't engage, I got
Especially in late May.
So now Brownsburg back the other way, and right now the Brownsburg fans wanted a yellow on that one. They thought maybe Collazo got a little bit too physical.
Can't say I disagree. I mean, we're on the sideline there. It's not a scoring threat, so probably a little too much, but did not get their wish.
There's another one. 2
more subsequent fouls has the Boo Birds out again. 29, Jamie Leacha looks to be okay. We'll give it 3rd time's the charm here.
I was going to say, Leach is like, I'll just give this to somebody else here.
She's done carrying this ball. No interest.
Like
and a timeout is called.
Good timing right there.
All right.
3:46 to go in the third. 8-4 Castle.
At Riskwork, we're Team Indiana through and through. From coaching youth basketball to protecting critical infrastructure. Like our partners at IndianaSRN, we invest in people first. That same grit and leadership on the court drives our work in cybersecurity. We help businesses stay secure, resilient, and ready with no guesswork. If you can trust us to protect the grid, you can surely trust us to protect your Indiana business.
It's game day, a time to focus on the excitement and not to worry about your insurance coverage. With Indiana Farmers Insurance by your side, you can step onto the field or into the bleachers with true peace of mind, knowing your coverage is handled by local agents who care about your business, your auto, your home, and your farm as much as you do. Local insurance, local agents, here for you. Now that's what we call teamwork.
Back here in Zionsville, our first semifinal in 1A. We have one more to go. That'll be Fishers and Crown Point. Crown Point, I would imagine going into that one would be the favorite, but we thought maybe the same thing with Brownsburg here, but Castle's been able to hold on after falling behind 2-0. And then they have held Brownsburg to just 2 goals since then.
Stadium announcing Tim Button trying to hype up the crowd here with the Sweet Caroline.
Well, anytime you get a Neil Diamond, you got to be fired up. So
I mean, I am, but I'm not sure if the 16-year-olds on the field have the same affinity for the Diamond as those of us who remember the 1900s.
Yeah, I can tell they're not real excited.
Yeah. Most of us in this booth saw the 1900s, which set us apart today.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Right. All right, so here we go following the timeout. 3:46 to go here in the third. Each team pretty even with the draw controls today. Free position shots, Castle with the edge there. But so far, Brownsburg outscored 2-1 here in the third. That goal that they got was a free position goal.
And it looks like the Brownsburg fans are going to get their wish.
Yeah.
First card of the day for Castle, yellow card going against attacker Reese Wagner. Again, anything up in that head and neck area, contact with the head and neck should be a mandatory card. So that's going to be a 2-minute vacation for Castle. Let's see if Brownsburg can finally kind of turn the tide here, get some rhythm, get some tempo, and take advantage of these 2 minutes.
So here is their chance right now. Grabowski.
We saw Cards play such a huge role in our previous game of Zionsville versus Chittard as far as runs and goal scoring and turning the tide, but a little more docile here in our third game of the day.
Grabowski to the inside and finds the opening and scores.
Grabowski worked hard for that one first, working through the card and then carrying down to the attacking end. You can see her fighting her way through the crease and two Castle attackers for the right-sided finish.
So they will get a power play goal right there. And they still have a chance to do it again. So they end up getting a free position goal with Gottlieb at 6:01, and now the power play by Grabowski. Grabowski scoring her 51st of the season. And the lead down to 3 for Castle, and the draw won by Brownsburg.
Brownsburg card release, so now just man down for the Knights with the draw control by Brownsburg. We're back to some 7-on-6 lacrosse.
Well, that one bouncing right in front of Fender.
Cross-check ball maintained by the Knights. Getting a lot of good entertainment here on our near side.
Here is Connor. Sure, Castle love to get a shorthanded goal right here if they possibly can squeeze one through. Get that goal back. In fact, they've given up 2 straight. Oh, a little bit high on the shot. It looked like Bartleman once again there for Castle.
The Knights have about 25 more seconds left on the card. Ball back to Iglesias. Let's see if they choose to ride this out or wait for 7v7.
Or have Iglesias give it a shot. Iglesias started to make a move, drew a big crowd again of defenders.
Table official Clea Anders blows her horn, releasing the Castle player. So we are back to 7v7 with a $1:30 left to play in this third quarter.
By the way, that was Wagner who just came out. Unable to handle the pass. Turnover there for Castle.
Blythe Parmel exiting from the rear of the aircraft there on the crease, taking her time and finding Addison Frieden successfully.
That is Frieden.
Frieden takes it coast to coast with a case of the gotta goes, and Brownsburg does gotta go. Down 3 with less than a minute to play in the third.
Yeah, Wagner right there trying to slow her down. Could not do so, so now we're coming up on 45 seconds remaining in the third. Seems like some of the players might be a little gassed after that last sprint down the field, too. They look to the inside. Ball tipped, stolen away. Another turnover for Brownsburg.
Brownsburg players kind of run into themselves, creating an unsettled situation and a turnover. Shot and score for Addison Frieden, number 24.
So Frieden, after the big turnover, they commit the turnover, get a turnover, then Frieden scores 3 in a row now by Brownsburg. That shows you turnovers can really hurt you.
Some real back and forth play there. Wasn't sure where the ball was for a second, but Brownsburg rightfully scooped it up to get themselves back within 2. 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter.
We have seen 2 straight quarters where a player has scored in the last 20 seconds. By the way, for Frieden, that's number 59 on the season. Here's Castle back the other way. And they turn it over.
Castle a little too rammy-jammy there, causing the turnover. More hits in the midfield. Thankfully for both teams, the whistle blows, bringing this third quarter to an end here in Zionsville. Castle Knights 8, Brownsburg Bulldogs 6.
This is LifeWise Academy. It's a program that teaches Bible-based character education to public school students during school hours. Not before school and not after, but during school hours.
So here's how this works. The students will leave this school building, hop on this bus, take a short ride across the street to the church. I can see the steeple from here, have Bible class, hop back on the bus, head back to school. It's that simple.
Go to lifewise.org to find your school.
During Army basic training, I found out I had 7 herniated discs. Prescription pain medication led me to a heroin addiction. I entered Wheeler's program and learned life on God's terms.
After meeting Greg, I was so impressed, I hired him. When you change that one life, it makes it all worthwhile.
Now, I have a family, house, and a job that I love. At Wheeler, you can have something everlasting.
Oh, easily, yeah. Probably early to mid-80s.
Came out when Keith was in his 70s.
What year did the movie 9 to 5 come out?
We are back once again here in Zionsville. 9 to 5 came out in 1980.
We're playing all the hits today.
Wow.
All the hits.
Man.
Dolly Parton is a treasure and should be protected.
I agree.
Any touch of Dolly Parton, immediate yellow card.
By the way, today's game brought to you by Boilermaker Local 374, where they represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication across Indiana. Whether it's a new build, upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Local 374 to get the job done right the first time. Final 12, barring an overtime. Sorry. I'm not manifesting an overtime.
Is that like talking about a no-hitter?
Mhm.
Like you shouldn't mention it,
No.
but you did anyway?
I'm an antagonizer.
Understood.
So I just try to get them, going. So they love working with me because, as we mentioned before, I get all the overtimes, the 5-setters in volleyball, things like that.
How did you manifest a pizza?
Manifest a pizza. Gee whiz.
The sports come to you, Troy. They
do.
Got to be near you.
On the other side, I want quick games because then my hourly salary goes up, see?
More bang for your buck.
Exactly. All right, here we go. 8-6. Castle trying to hold on here. Brownsburg, their offense starting to pick up. They got a free position goal and a power play goal.
Draw control by no other than Karina Iglesias. Draws the foul there on the lower flank of the crease. She's going to have the ball on the dot. 8 meters from goal line extended.
And by the way, speaking of Iglesias, she has not scored since the end of the second. So Brownsburg able to keep her scoreless in that third quarter. And she had 3 in that second quarter, 4 for the game, but so far unable to score here in the second half. And they're going to need her. She got to step up now.
Brownsburg kind of creeping back in. Again, 6-3 at the half, and now 8-6. So baby steps for the Bulldogs, and possession in their cross yet again.
I want to mention again the championship games will be here next Saturday. Nice turn to the inside, and the score, and Brownsburg gets it from Grabowski again. That's number 52 on the year. And they've got it going now. We were wondering where that offense was going to be.
Play like that is what we're more used to seeing from Grace Grabowski. Nice little stutter step. Turn there on the top of the 8 and drive. Crash came nearly shooting space, but Grabowski was able to navigate around, avoiding the foul and earning the goal.
Well, here come the Bulldogs now, only down by 1. We get to this stage, everything magnified, and that includes turnovers and penalties. Get more possessions, more opportunities to score.
I think it's including the crowd now as well.
Yeah.
Definitely, they've come awake as the game has progressed through the day, with a few more opinions for both sides.
I think Brownsburg fans had a chance now to wake up a little bit. They've scored 4 straight. Talked about momentum earlier in the games we have had and how quickly it can change, and it has changed again.
Free position for the Knights. Great hash here for a right-handed shooter, second inside. Official Leah Davis moving everyone out of the 8. Brownsburg gets a piece of it, and Palmer is able to scoop up the ground ball in her crease, and we're headed the other way.
Boy, how important is it to have those players right next to the player that's taking the free position shot to get a stick on it.
Yeah, we run crash drills all the time, both for the sake of the free position shooter to learn how to avoid and for the defense to learn how to crash without drawing that subsequent foul.
So now Brownsburg in transition, trying to tie this one up.
A lot of contact on the sideline. Referees say nope, out of bounds against the Bulldogs, and here come the Knights.
Let a Brownsburg player go down. Looked like that was number 8 there, Courtney, the freshman. Castle with a turnover, Brownsburg, here we go.
Grabowski, the ball carrier's got some speed, got some numbers. Runs into a wall. And number 31, Claire Robinson, freshman defender. And Brownsburg going to take a second look.
Good look there at Grabowski. Kind of turned her back on the 2 defenders.
Sometimes, like the airplane, the quickest exit may be behind you.
Exactly.
So if you get a double team you just can't crack, sometimes it's best to take that drop step back, get your head up, and look for your teammates' help.
Boy, but a turnover there by the Bulldogs. Bartleman trying to clear.
Nice right here by Brownsburg to slow Castle, but they've found their way out to yet again. Iglesias picks up the 30-plus yard pass from a teammate and is off to the races.
We talked about Iglesias being the key here down the stretch. She's been held scoreless in the second half. That's Iglesias. Good pass to the inside, and unable to hold on to it was Riley Connor. Can Castle pick up the garbage here right in front of the goal?
Ooh, dangerous play there by Brownsburg.
Can you explain what that was? Croquet.
It's good to kick the ball out or kind of field hockey croquet the ball out of a scrum, but not towards your goalie.
No.
So Palmer was keen there on the save against her own teammate.
It's kind of like in basketball. You never throw it back to the other team's goal. That'll go against Castle. Or is it going to be Brownsburg? They're going to say it's against Brownsburg.
Anya
instead.
Courtney tries to split the double. And Castle says no thank you and draws the charge call. Ball back to Iglesias.
Yeah, Iglesias drew 4.
And well deserved. She's been on the scoreboard several times today. 4, I do believe.
Maybe that's why she hasn't scored in the second half. Every time she turns around, there's 4 jerseys there waiting for her.
1v4, not a math teacher, but those numbers don't match.
Under 6 minutes here in the final period of play. 8-7 Castle with the lead, though Brownsburg has scored the last 4. Well, that defense has gotten even more stiff there for Brownsburg. Iglesias to the inside. Iglesias turns. Bodies falling everywhere, and a whistle.
Everybody on the ground. We have a flag from our lead official. We have a flag and a timeout call from our trail official, Dan Yohe. Team getting together to try to piece this out. Looks like they're going to call offsetting.
By the way, Sienna Griffith was on the turf there for Brownsburg.
I'm seeing signal for a charge and also a held check. So they're going to count those null and void, canceling each other out, and looks like the ball's going to go to... It's going to go out to the dot. Who will it belong to? Hard to see the alternating possession here today. That's going to be kept by our table official. Ball to Brownsburg.
Don't you love offsetting penalties? So, in football we have offsetting penalties, and you're like...
You got to replay second down in that case, right?
Yeah,
replay second down.
Brownsburg trying to advance it. They've been sloppy with the ball in this possession, and a turnover. That's Iglesias. Castle came a long way. They love to come back next week. Shot saved by Palmer.
Palmer standing tall when they need her the most. Read that bounce shot all the way in. Palmer, a very active goalie. Not content to clear from her crease. Tends to walk it out 10, 20 yards each time. Surveying the field here. Looking for some help from the purple and white.
By the way, Bartleman was the one who attempted that last shot. She scored the second goal of the game for Castle back in period number 1. Now we're starting to get into an area time-wise where it could be very interesting here in the last 4 minutes. Castle trying to hold on.
Good retreat pass there by Brownsburg to set up number 8, Anya Courtney, who carries the ball into the attacking end. Brownsburg running out of time.
Oh my.
Great take, and even better save by the Castle keeper.
Yeah, Fender's had a couple of those here today. Actually, it's going to be not Fender, it's going to be Ellard, Sydney Ellard, here in the 4th.
We also had offsides against Castle, so Brownsburg gets lucky. Great save there by the Knights, but the offsides call overrules, and the ball is back with the Bulldogs.
So Ellard in at goal, and the goal scored here by Frieden. And Brownsburg has now put 5 straight on the board, and they've tied it at 8 apiece.
Grace Grabowski patiently watching. Finds Addison Frieden with a nice little cut there to finish far side to tie us up at 8 with 3:26 remaining. Second and final timeout called by the Castle Knights. This one's going down to the wire.
And we want to remind you, IndianaSRN is proud to provide coverage of high school sports across Indiana, giving student athletes the recognition they deserve. From exciting Friday night games to championship moments, we're committed to showcasing the hard work and dedication of student athletes across the state. And your support will help IndianaSRN bring more games, better coverage, and additional opportunities for schools and student athletes to be seen and heard. And every donation directly helps us continue our mission of promoting high school athletics throughout Indiana. Please consider supporting IndianaSRN by using the donate button on our website. Your contribution helps us put more games on the air, continue serving schools, athletes, families, and communities. Even a donation as little as $25 will help IndianaSRN air games and provide great exposure for today's student athletes. If you'd like more information, you can email us at coach@indianasrn.org. That's coach at IndianaSRN.org. I want to thank you for supporting local high school sports and Indiana SRN. Do not forget we have a 5:30 contest, the final game of the day, another 1A game. It'll be Crown Point and Fishers. They are standing by, waiting for the completion of this one. But, Coach, we have 3:26 remaining. We're tied at 8 apiece. Brownsburg has all the momentum now going their way.
A lot to talk about for both of these teams in the final timeout. If I'm Brownsburg, I'm kind of thankful that Castle gave us a minute here to think it over. As, yes, the momentum is on their side, but with only 3.5 minutes remaining, the ball now becomes, it was gold before and now it's platinum in this last 3-minute stretch. Fairly low-scoring affair here, 8-8. I'd expect we'll see the stick in the hands of our standouts, Iglesias, Grabowski, Gottlieb.
By the way, the last time that Iglesias scored was at the end of the first half. Last time that Castle scored overall, 8:06 to go in the third. They've been on a long scoring drought. So they're going to have to get Iglesias going here in the last 3:26. That is Iglesias in there along with Leacha there for Brownsburg, number 29. Just a freshman. Iglesias, you would think, had the edge there, but the draw control won by Brownsburg.
Addison Frieden, experienced in this Final Four play. Oh, little couple extra taps there from the Castle Knights, but Brownsburg able to maintain possession.
Yeah, got her on the third one, by the way. Third one's the one that really counts.
Third time is the charm, they say.
It is.
In this case, surprisingly not the foul, but Brownsburg standing tall.
Bulldogs trying to take the lead here. They have another possession here where they are not very clean.
Really need to see Brownsburg here cradle strong. As the game goes on, the fatigue starts to set in. Some of those stick skills can begin to slip a little bit. So if I'm Brownsburg, I am cradling like my life depends on it to keep that ball in my cross.
That is Grabowski. And being very patient with this possession. Trying to dive, nothing there. Ball comes loose. 50-50 ball. Who's going to come up with it? Brownsburg will. Pass to the inside, another one dropped.
Big party in the 8-meter right now. Not a lot of room for either team to operate. If I'm Brownsburg, I'm going to spread out, make Castle come to me. The ball is in my stick. I'm in the driver's seat. I choose what happens.
That's going to go against the Bulldogs.
That is an excellent call there. Picks in lacrosse are very challenging to conduct. You need to have time and room of the visual field in order to stay safe, so a little different than what we're used to in the game of basketball. I think that was a good call by our officials. I understand Brownsburg's trying to shake people free. Don't blame them for trying to play, but a little bit tricky this late in the game.
Castle almost gave it up as well as Addison Murphy able to come up with it. And a near turnover. There's a collision. And it's going to go over to Brownsburg. But they're going to have to hurry.
Clock is running. That was outside of, and now the clock has been stopped. 50 seconds left. Brownsburg has an opportunity. Both teams getting a little punchy. Again, you see an errant pass there by the Bulldogs. Adrenaline running high.
Yeah, punchy indeed is another one. Turned over there by Brownsburg.
Castle needs to go the length of the field. Stoppage of play by our official, reaching for a card, a delay of game card. I'm not sure if it's because, I think it's because Brownsburg didn't allow the Castle goalie to re-enter the field to restart play 2 meters inside of that end line safely. So delay of game, lucky break there for all involved. Nice clear there by Castle. They've got 20 seconds for all the marbles.
Can they get a shot off? Wagner.
Running the ball here is kind of ill-advised. The ball moves much faster in the air than it does on your feet.
No, they're not going to get it
Castle's
done.
going to run out of time.
Well, we're going to play an extra period. Tied at 8 after regulation.
Poached egg on avocado toast.
Ew.
Your flash fried porgy over chips.
Ew.
Your fresh main lobster with microgreens.
When the only thing your 8-year-old will eat is waffles.
She's fine. She's fine. Your waffles, milady.
It matters where you stay.
Yum.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
We are
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
eliminate punting in football too. Welcome back to Zionsville. Everybody knows, and you've heard me, I'm eliminating punting in football.
We are sharing all kinds of suggestions here for overtime play in various sports, but what we have here in women's lacrosse is a little unique. So they get a
don't listen to him.
A 5-minute switchover. Got some freestyle karaoke here in the booth now as well, but nonetheless, a 5-minute switchover.
Explain what that means.
Okay, so we have time here. It's going to be restart, almost like a brand new game.
Okay.
They're going to meet back with the captains. They're going to flip. They're going to flip the coin. They're going to choose each side of who wants to defend and who wants to attack each side. Pretty much a brand new game. Don't have to go through the pleasantries and the stick checks, but nonetheless, a few of the logistics.
Okay.
We will play golden goal, so first goal wins.
Okay.
The format is 3 minutes. If no one scores in that 3 minutes, we pause for a 2-minute kind of fake quarter timeout and play an additional 3 minutes. Women's lacrosse, generally pretty spicy. Usually we don't need much past that first 3 minutes. But if that would continue, we keep flip-flopping the 3 minutes until we have our winner.
Okay. And so we could literally play for a long time if nobody scores.
We could, but I think most of the time you see the craziness come out now where it's, I'm not passing, I'm not sharing, you're giving the ball to your best shooter and saying, go, just go.
Yeah.
So this next draw control is critical.
Okay, and by the way, we learned, and I learned during the timeout, it is sudden win, right?
Sudden victory.
Sudden victory. All right.
You will experience a sudden victory.
Well, let's see. Will it be Brownsburg who scored the last 5 goals to tie this thing at 8 apiece? It looked like their offense was dead, but Frieden had a couple of goals. Grabowski had a couple of goals. Or will Iglesias step up?
Crowd really joining us here in this overtime period. They've never taken our suggestion of overtime should be coach v. coach.
I agree.
There's a lot of former players in the coaching ranks, so grab your sticks and let's do a Braveheart, coach v. coach. We suggest that around the kitchen table sometimes. We think it'd be a lot of fun, but nonetheless, these players are going to battle it out here in our golden goal situation.
Are you on the rules committee where you can maybe change that? Or
I don't think anyone's taken my call on that, but
no, they don't know what they're talking about then.
False start, early entry against Brownsburg.
Uh-oh.
Cannot go into that goal circle until the whistle blows, so big opportunity here for the Knights.
And there's the player you're looking for, Iglesias. Can she get the game winner here as we have gone into our first overtime of the day?
Iglesias being guarded by number 10, Sienna Griffin. Haven't called her name yet today. Castle behind goal line extended, taking a look.
You know, the other player that has stepped up today is Delacoma. Only had 3 goals coming in, but Delacoma has a couple of goals today here for Castle. And we played a minute.
Bit.
Castle at one point led 5-2. That has been the biggest deficit we have seen today, and then they came back and scored 3 more after Brownsburg had scored a Gottlieb goal with 27.8 seconds left in the second. The move to the inside. Anything there? Nope.
Okay, free position coming for the Knights. Castle very patient on that possession. Ran a couple little decoy cuts, a couple decoy rolls, and was able to bring the right-hander around to draw the free position. Big moment here for Blythe Palmer and the Bulldogs.
The move back to the inside, nothing there for Murphy.
Excellent crash by Brownsburg to extend this possession and the game.
Ball comes loose. Weatherly had a position inside, or Kilgore. So we'll have another one.
Ref signaling a push, giving the ball back to number 5, Carly Kilgore, for the Knights. Their second free position of this short overtime.
Kilgore, quick shot. Might have caught a piece of the post.
Looks like she may have caught a piece of the Brownsburg player as well. Looks like maybe number 24, Addison Frieden, feeling the burn on that one.
Yeah, that would have caught her on the calf, it looks like.
Yeah, looks to be shaking it off the best she can. If she truly was hit by the ball, that should be a dangerous propel and a yellow card. But there was so much traffic in that 8-meter, I'm not sure anybody, myself included, saw exactly what happened.
Well, by the way, Frieden is heading toward the sidelines. Only the second injury we have seen. The first one happened to Iglesias. And after Iglesias came back in, she scored 3 goals.
Frieden walking fairly gingerly there, taking a seat on the sideline. Blythe Palmer, again, coming out of the cage. A little risky here late in the game, as she is checkable as a field player.
Doesn't seem to be too bothered by it, though, does she?
Nope, takes the foul from Castle. Castle needs to go 4 behind.
Boy, almost a stick check got it away from her.
If I'm a Brownsburg field player, I'm going to go help her out ASAP.
Under 30.
Ooh, unique here, Brownsburg deputizing. That is illegal.
And we got a timeout first, and explain if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, a lot going on right there. We did have a legal play by Blythe Palmer, the goalkeeper, since she left her crease and was played in the field of play, meaning she was checked, she was fouled. She's eligible to roll the ball back into the goal circle and start a new 10-second timer. When she did that, she stepped out, and a different Brownsburg player is allowed to run in and scoop up the dead ball. Usually you'd see that in a situation where they'd run in, scoop up, and take off quite quickly. But I think they wanted to do it, a little confusion, a little traffic, so weren't able to capitalize as much maybe as they hoped. So Brownsburg calls the timeout with 20 seconds remaining in this overtime period. We saw a look at Frieden there over on the sideline. Looked like she had her trainer bar there, maybe rubbing out a cramp or something else, doing some stretching here. Long game on a slightly warmer spring day. Looks like she's back on her feet. So perhaps she can join for these last 20 seconds.
Yeah, Frieden has been big in the second half. Of course, she scored the game-tying goal in the fourth, her 60th of the year. Today's game brought to you in part by Risk Work. We make people feel safe by protecting your business. If you'd like more information, call Risk Work at 317-379-6755. You see the Knights of Castle making a long road trip. They played well today, especially in the second quarter, in which they outscored Brownsburg 4-1. But right now the momentum in favor of Brownsburg, but they've had a couple of turnovers late in the fourth quarter here into overtime. And now 19.2 remaining.
Brownsburg, a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Yeah.
Can be done. We need to see Brownsburg pass the ball here instead of use their feet. We don't have time to physically run the distance. The ball moves much faster than even our best athletes can run. But Castle very smartly kind of walling up here the best they can, so I'm not sure we are going to see a golden goal yet this quarter with time ticking away.
Yeah, they will have to be Ronaldo Nehemiah to get it down there that quickly, especially, as you say, on the run, and we're down to the final 6. Can they get a look? And they will not. That will do it.
Yep, too much running and not enough ball movement there for Brownsburg. So we'll take a short pause here. 2 minutes. Brownsburg running to get their goalie, but this game is far from over. So they're going to switch sides and continue on. So it should be a fairly quick transition here.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
Switch sides and we go again. So again, the quick transition here. That's why we're back quickly. So we'll do it again. Another 3 minutes on the board.
3 minutes, golden goal. Fresh game here for all of the Marbles, and a trip to the 1A state final right here next weekend.
A little more pressure put on both these teams to try to possess, and it will be Brownsburg. Will they be able to get in the scoring position? Iglesias giving chase.
Jamie Leacha with the ball.
They get it, and the score. And Brownsburg in the second overtime gets the win. Unless I see the official calling it off.
Hold, please. Celebration too soon. crease violation the call. We're going to want to take a look at that. Heartbreak for the Bulldogs.
So it is not over.
The goal looked good, but apparently a little too much gas in the tank there for Grabowski with the crease violation. The ball goes to the Knights.
And Grabowski would have had the hat trick and the game winner right there, but it's waved off.
Great angle there by our officiating crew to see that on a nice tangent there to the goal circle.
Castle unable to advance, so they will give it right back to the Bulldogs.
Out of bounds on the far side. Bulldogs getting a second chance opportunity. Grabowski, an experienced player, is going to want that one back, and I'm sure she's going to want that ball in her stick to make good on that last shot.
Well, they're going to get another chance right here.
Into the sphere, number 77, Quinn Reuter. Just a freshman, carrying the ball here in this semi-state overtime. They'll take a second here to recollect, spread out, and see if they can put it together for that golden goal.
They look back to the inside. Ball comes loose. Still holding on, though, is Frieden.
Frieden picks up her own trash. Takes a look from the backside of the goal. Still a lot of congestion in this 8-meter right now on both teams. Difficult to break through.
Frieden will give it up. To the inside again, and this time I believe it's going to count.
Maddie Gottlieb.
And Gottlieb gives Brownsburg the win. A come-from-behind win for the Bulldogs. In the second overtime at 1:11.
Flip pass and then a feed to Gottlieb. Dodges once and twice. Top corner, Maddie Gottlieb, leading scorer for these Brownsburg Bulldogs. Puts the game on her shoulders and propels Brownsburg into the 1A championship game for the second year in a row.
By the way, Gottlieb, the hat trick. She scored the second goal for Brownsburg of the day. She picked up her second goal on a free position shot in the third, and then in the double overtime, able to get the win. Gottlieb at 1:11 here in our second overtime. But what a great game here, and now we know Brownsburg will move on to the state championship. But it wasn't the kind of game we expected. You looked at it, 3 starters down for Castle. They really played well with Iglesias, and then they just kind of held her in check the rest of the way and able to come from behind to get to the win.
I mean, championship teams never give up, and Brownsburg showed us that here today, pushing through to the end, coming back from the slow start to earn their second consecutive trip to the finals.
So we remind you our second 1A game will be coming up at about 5:30, and that will feature our final 2 games, the Tigers of Fishers at 8 and 6 on the year, and the Bulldogs of Crown Point. They are 14 and 4. You look at those 2 teams, and Crown Point definitely has the firepower coming in. They have a 77-goal score coming into that one, so no doubt about it, Fishers will have to play well.
I think we're going to end on another great game. Looking forward to game 4 of 4 here. INGLA lacrosse action on Indiana SRN.